Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to TVS Motors Limited Q4 FY22 earnings conference call hosted by Batlivala & Karani Securities India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Annamalai Jayaraj from Batlivala & Karani Securities India Private Limited. Thank you and over to you, Mr. Jayaraj.
Thanks, Nirav. Welcome to TVS Motor Company 4Q and FY22 post-results conference call. From TVS Motor Company management, we have with us today Mr. K.N. Radhakrishnan, Director and Chief Executive Officer, and Mr. K. Gopal Desikan, Chief Financial Officer. Congrats on good set of numbers, sir, on the margin front. I now hand over the call to Mr. K.N. Radhakrishnan for the opening remarks to be followed by question and answer session. Over to you.
Good evening everyone, and trust all of you and your family members are safe. Thanks for joining this call on TVS Motor Company quarter 4. First of all, I'm extremely happy and delighted to share with you that Mr. Sudarshan Venu has been elevated as Managing Director effective today. As you know, Sudarshan joined TVS Motor in 2011 and he was appointed as the JMD in 2014. With his deep-rooted values, he has been instrumental in driving innovation in advanced technology and investments in the future technologies like digital and future mobility. His passion for customer delight, quality, and drive for cost management are exemplary. He has created aspirational products which are extremely successful in the market. During his tenure, company has tied up with BMW Motorrad, established TVS Digital, and recently invested in e-bikes, which is a growing segment in Europe. Under his leadership, the company has achieved more than 1 million exports volume, and due to his special focus on premiumization, it has resulted in the highest revenue, EBITDA and PBT during this year. Coming to 21-22, it was a very challenging year, as all of you know, impacted by COVID-19. We had the same time last year, a lot of shutdowns in wave 2. First quarter, after that we had subdued rural demand, supply chain related issues, and huge customer price increases driven by the commodity cost increases. This resulted the decline of two-wheeler industry by 11%. TVSM, with its strong portfolio and focused exports, grew in the total two-wheeler sales by 7%, resulting in a market share gain during the year. With the focus on premiumization, successful new product launches, growth in international business, and sustained cost reduction initiatives, the company posted highest ever PBT of 1,243 crores in spite of all headwinds. During the year, two-wheeler domestic sales clocks 2.05 million units. International front, the two-wheeler sales was 1.09 million. The company has achieved this significant international business milestone in a financial year for the first time. On Q4, the revenue from operations grew by 4%, 5,530 crores, as against 5,322 crores last year. The domestic sales declined by 11% compared to Q4 of last year, against the industry decline of 23%. International market sales declined by 3% compared to Q4 of last year. The total two-wheeler sales declined by 8% compared to Q4 of last year, against the industry decline of 19%. Total sales of three-wheeler during this quarter was 42,000 against last year's almost similar number. Profit in EBITDA, we reached 557 crores, grew by 4% over last year Q4. Continued focus in cost reduction initiatives helped the company to maintain the EBITDA for the quarter at 10.1%. PBT for the quarter is at 373 crores as against 387 crores last year. Profit after tax is 274 crores as against 289 crores. On PT TVS, company sold 18,600 and the sales is at 18,649 crores as against 22,000 of last year. We also sold three-wheeler 2,669 numbers compared to last year's 2,298 numbers. PBT for this quarter is 1.1 million. Overall for 21-22, revenue from operations grew by 24% from 16,751 crores to 20,791 crores. This is the highest. Two-wheeler sales in the international market during the year grew by 43% over last year as against the industry growth of 36%. Domestic two-wheeler sales declined by 5%. Industry decline same time was 11%. Three-wheeler sales grew by 39%. Operating EBITDA for the year is 9.4% compared to last year 8.5%. During the year, the company posted highest ever PBT before exceptional item of 1,243 crores as against 826 crores last year. Rupees 30 crores incurred towards COVID-19 related expenses are reflected as exceptional item. Profit after tax grew by 46%, 612 crores to 894 crores. And PT TVS continued to achieve profits this year. Two-wheelers grew by 46%, 86,025 compared to last year's 58,901. And three-wheelers, we grew by almost 88%, 11,043 three-wheelers compared to 5,863. As you know, board at its meeting during March declared an interim dividend of 3.75 per share, absorbing a sum of 178 crores. On EV, we have excellent positive response from the customers and it continues to grow. TVS iQube electric based on the performance, dependable performance, reliable range and silent, comfortable driving experience. As on today, we have more than 12,000 bookings. We are currently present in 33 cities and we have sold so far 12,000 units of TVS iQube. In 22-23, this financial year, we will be launching a series of new products focusing on different customer segments. Company is readying a complete portfolio of two-wheeler and three-wheeler in the range of 5 to 25 kilowatts, all of which will be in the market within the next 8 quarters. First of this product will be in this quarter. I'll give you more information closer to launch. In TVS Motors, in line with the vision of electrification, we envisage a wide and reliable charging infrastructure for our EV customers across India. Recently, we collaborated with GeoBP to access its widespread charging network for its customers. We also have Tata Power and CESL network. We have already tied up with them. This will substantially enhance the customer experience. As you know, EV industry is slated to grow rapidly and company has got a robust plan for this segment. On outlook for 22-23, we are expecting normal monsoon and this will definitely help the agricultural sector to grow. This will be the 4th year in succession favorable monsoon in India. The rural economy should get benefit because of this. The future economic impact of COVID is assessed to be low based on the wave 3, which saw minimal hospitalization. The administrative response through vaccination drive and not resorting to broad lockdown measures is seeing positive impact on the consumer sentiment and overall economic activity. The improved investments in the road infrastructure, economic environment with our current mass transit systems will further drive the demand for mobility for masses. This demand is today best served by the two-wheeler segment, making its fundamentals very attractive in light of a resurgent India. Two-wheelers in international business is also likely to see a good growth during the year with current trend of crude oil prices and availability and stability of currency. We have a strong portfolio of products which will enable to grow ahead of the industry. And I'm extremely happy on the demand for TVS Raider and TVS Jupiter 125. One of the best whatever we have seen, and we even have very good order bookings for both these products. We are very confident that these two new products will help us in the growth journey of TVS Motor, both in domestic market as well as international market. We are continuing to witness the trend of premiumization in all markets, and therefore we are confident that our premium products such as Apache, Raider, Ntorq, Jupiter ZX, Jupiter Grande series, and the Jupiter 125 will do very well. The present geopolitical climate and allied economic consequences will have an adverse impact on different commodities and crude oil prices in the first half financial year. We have taken judicious price increases both in domestic and international markets to mitigate the impact on the commodity prices. We are pretty confident that this year we will grow ahead of the industry, both in domestic and international, and with a strong portfolio of brands like Apache, Jupiter, Ntorq, Raider, and Star range and HLX Radeon and TVS King. And the new launches what we are planning this year, we will continue to grow ahead of the industry. And our sustained cost reduction initiatives will help us to significantly improve our EBITDA going forward. Thank you.
So shall we open the floor for questions?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants, you may press star and one to ask the question. The first question is from the line of Rakesh Kumar from BNP Paribas. Please go ahead.
My first question was around your EV sales network and production capacity ramp-up plan. So our sales network for the last 2 quarters haven't been able to expand beyond 33 cities. I understand it's a reflection of supply constraint which we have. So what is the visibility now you have, and what is it that you are targeting now on the sales network expansion? And also on the production plan expansion, you had talked about that by first quarter of FY23, we should reach 10,000 unit production. I think that would also be critical for a network expansion plan. So how are we planning on 2 years in EV?
We are definitely confident of ramping up to 10,000 by first quarter end. We had some challenges in terms of some of the semiconductor suppliers, but given the kind of relationship we have with them, they are all supporting us in terms of ramp up. And we have an aggressive plan this year. Once we are able to reach 10,000 by end of this quarter, then as I said, there is going to be a new product launch as well, and we will have a very good quarter after quarter disproportionate growth, and we have enough capacities for that. Also, we have lined up with all our suppliers. So it will be a great journey in terms of the EV. What is most important is all the customers of TVS iQube really love it, and that is the reason we have over 12,000 bookings.
Right. Thank you for that. My second question was on the acquisition side. We have made a few EV bike acquisitions, especially in Europe, and earlier we had made an acquisition of Norton brand. So how are we planning about the product and also the brand strategy around those? And more importantly, in the context, are these EV bikes would be purely for the European markets, or we are looking at it in conjunction with the Indian EV market and our strategy here domestic?
See, the general principle is all these products will be applicable to many markets. But the first focus when we have acquired SEMG is to focus on markets in Europe, because this is the market which is likely to grow very, very fast. And these products, this SEMG is also a leading provider of e-mobility solutions in this region. And as you know, last year they have done 100 million in revenue, and they were profitable last year. So we will leverage that, but this gives us a huge opportunity to expand the product portfolio of e-bikes, and we will be very closely looking at which are the other countries where we can use similar platforms, and we can also look at some point of time India. And on Norton, as you know, it's a very premium brand. It's a special brand, and definitely since acquiring in April 2020, we have set up an excellent facility with all the focus on right talent pool, focusing on quality improvement and ramping up for production. This is in Solihull, and you will see this year production and sales happening in a small way. And then we have we are now articulating the plan, 3 to 5 year plan for this brand. And once it is ready, we will share it with you. But we are pretty confident that both these investments are going to give us huge returns going forward.
Got it. Thank you for those answers.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pramod Kumar from UBS Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity, sir. My first question pertains to your comments on semiconductor situation easing. You talked in specific context of EVs, but just want to understand, will it also help you elevate the supply chain pressure on brands like Apache, Raider, Jupiter, because they've been on a wait list. All these three brands have been on a waiting, especially Raider, Apache, and Jupiter 125. So, and I understand the marriage season is ongoing and it's peak demand for some of these brands. So, will there be any easing of supply, the situation on production side for these brands as well when you look at the remainder of the 2 months of this quarter?
Surely, because we are taking some alternate actions also. One of our suppliers are not able to ramp up, or we had a lot of challenges or bottlenecks. So we are also looking at augmenting with some more suppliers in this area, and we are pretty confident, especially in Raider and Apache. Fortunately, we were able to get full support on Jupiter 125, and that supplier also has helped us to increase the volume. So I think what is most important is there is a genuine shortage of semiconductor. So we have to plan some alternatives, and also we have to give some time, because both in Raider and Jupiter, the customer demand has been exceptionally good and the reception has been exceptionally good. Apache, we had a setback last couple of months, and this month we had a serious setback. But we are coming up with alternatives soon. So I'm pretty confident that one, the current supplier itself, they are going to support us more. Plus, we will have some alternate suppliers also developed for the quarter. But the good thing is the demand front. We are extremely happy in a difficult and challenging situation like this. Both the Raider, Apache, and Jupiter 125, huge demand, which is a very positive news.
So, on that comment of yours on the demand side for these three brands, just trying to understand, because we've never seen a stable month for Raider or Jupiter, and I understand you haven't even activated marketing campaigns for them in a big way because of the capacity constraint. So just trying to understand how much could be the demand with the Raider and Jupiter 125 alone as new brand introduction can add to your volume kitty, say net of cannibalization with some bit of Jupiter and all of that. So where do you think these brands can head to at a combined level in terms of volumes per year for the domestic market?
Domestic market, you have seen we exited around almost 17% market share, which is one of the best for TVS Motor. Yeah. And thanks to the existing brands as well as for Raider and Jupiter. And this is with some constraints we had in Apache in February and March. So you can estimate. So we have a huge opportunity to gain significant market share this year with existing brands as well as these two new brands. And please understand, this Jupiter 125 is also moving in international market, and also Raider is moving in a big way in international market.
So will that be wrong if you assume like these brands, domestic plus export, can easily do 50 to 75,000 units per month, domestic plus export, both the brands put together? Will that be aggressive?
I don't want to guide with any number. All that we look at is whether the customers are delighted. Yes. There is a huge demand. Yes. Continuously invest in right capacities and work with the suppliers, work with the dealers and distributors and make sure that you grow profitably these brands.
And thanks for that. Second question is for Desikan sir, and you also in a way. On the cash flow generation, sir, because the last couple of years we've been investing very aggressively on either acquisition or capability build-up, right? And we've been, our investments are probably growing ahead of our cash flow from operations in that sense. So when you look back now with the SCMG acquisition being done and creation of the e-mobility platform and the expected monetization on the financing arm and some probable transaction on the EV side, so is it, how should one look at as an investor and as an analyst on FY23 cash flow generation and going forward, whether in terms of whether there will be big investments happening again, or we have kind of done bulk of the investments which we wanted so far? So how should one look at the free cash flow situation going forward, sir?
I would like to guide you saying that significant portion of these investments made by the company are already earning good returns. For example, TVS ES. TVS ES, give me a minute, I'll tell you the numbers during this quarter. TVS CS book size is now almost 14,000 crores, and the net worth of the company is 1,866 crores. And Q4 profit is 74 crores compared to last year Q4 of 62 crores. So, and year as a whole also very, very good performance. So, again, I go back to the other point. So, significant proportion of whatever investments we have made in whether it is TVS CS or PT TVS Indonesia, you know PT TVS Indonesia, last 2 years it is giving us very good profits, and I am very confident about this year also, 22-23. The markets are growing, our exports are growing, there is a huge opportunity, and SSCL. Also, the two newly invested e-mobility companies are already profitable. Almost 700 crores we have invested in this. So we always invest in the right segments and right businesses, and we are confident that we will deliver good performance in the future. And we should understand that any company, you have to give 1 or 2 years to reach certain levels of complete maturity in terms of product quality, standard, and having the right network. So these investments definitely are going to give very good returns in the future. We are confident about that. Desikan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, on the monetization part, sir.
Just want to answer Pramod's question. See, significant portion of the investments are behind us, to be very, very clear to your question. And second is, the company continues to generate free cash flow, and next year we'll continue to generate free cash flow.
And so on the monetization part, you did share about financing monetization and also potential opportunity on the EV side.
We said that TVS Credit Services is evaluating various options for fundraise, and we are pursuing various options. We will come back to you at the right time. We are progressing on that front.
Okay. And sir, last one, sorry for this, but on the software side, I want to ask this question because we've seen so many new features getting added to a product like command on a new product like NTORQ, a new variant. So I just want to understand, this is something which is unique in the tool industry, right? The kind of features what you're offering on your products on the connectivity and digital bit. Just want to understand, are these all kind of bought out technologies which you're buying from vendors under license, or these are something which you've developed in-house using your own software talent?
We completely believe in designing and developing in-house. Of course, we partner with the right suppliers. Okay. We can be really proud that we are really having the spirit of Atmanirbhar India from design and development.
No, fair enough. I was asking this more from the EV perspective because electric vehicles are more of software.
Even for EV, most of the significant proportion of these developments are completely done in-house. We partner with the suppliers for some of the parts to be produced. Okay, that is the biggest differentiator.
Thank you. Pramod, I'll request to come back in the question queue. I request all the participants restrict to 2 questions per participant. The next question is from the line of Raghunandan NL from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, firstly, on the demand side, demand conditions are improving and your peers are indicating expectations of double-digit growth in FY23. Can you talk about which segments are driving this demand improvement. You indicated good traction in rural. Can you also talk about other customer segment like salaried, student? Where all do you expect traction this year?
The good news is, again, last year, because of the lockdowns, urban initially got affected. And once the COVID situation in wave 3 became a little bit better, with minimal hospitalization and better vaccination, we could see, I think, the people coming for better buy. See, the biggest challenge was in the entry-level segment. If you look at the entry-level segment, was the biggest challenge, starting from mopeds and entry-level motorcycles. Primarily because of one, the cost and the price increases, whatever they have seen. Second is because of the anxiety of the COVID and kind of almost 2 years, their income level being very, very subdued. Okay. Now, we are seeing first time after COVID-3, the mobility, people are now doing their regular jobs. The self-employed are doing their job. Schools are opening. So I think it is positive for the industry. Very, very positive for the industry. And I'm very confident that this year you will see rural will come back. Urban will continue to do well this year. The premium products always does well. Now the challenge is the 50% of the market which is in the entry level. Those segments will improve this year. Definitely will improve. And also the retail financing companies now practically, for example, TVS CS, basically can highlight you. Our collections are 100%. Correct, basically?
Last 4 to 5 months, there are no provisions there, and we have been collecting the earlier made provisions also. To that extent, it is extremely robust.
So I think positivity through many qualitative measures we can look at it. It is very good for India. What we have to look at is this commodity increases. Okay, if commodity increases can also a little bit, because it is not that we are seeing huge increases, but keep on increasing prices will have some challenges. But I'm pretty confident in the case of TVS, we have a range of products and range of customers, and we can definitely grow much ahead of the industry. So I am very optimistic about 22-23. Always this little caution of wave 4, how is it going to be? Vaccination is going to help us. Okay, so we all pray that let that be like wave 3, like Omicron, no hospitalization. So that situation comes, I think we will see a great year this year.
Thank you, sir, for the detailed answer. My second question was on the commodity inflation. How severe is the impact expected for June quarter? How much is the price hike? And net of price hike, what could be the QOQ gross margin hit?
See, I don't want to look at any hit on the gross margin. I think the way we have to look at is there is a commodity increase. We are not able to pass on fully. So always there is a between your own internal efficiencies and your own ability to look at the range and product mix and geography mix. That is exactly the way we. The good news is for us, almost 35% of our income from the international market. International market is really doing extremely well. So most importantly, if you are able to grow your top line much faster, I think that gives you supply chain efficiencies. It gives you an opportunity on certain brands to increase price. Maybe you can even pass on fully the commodity prices. Areas where the customers are not able to, fully afford the price increases, maybe partially in two, three installments. So we have different strategies. So I'm not so much worried about commodity prices really putting us a headwind. I think it is a combination of. You would have seen our results. I think most difficult time we have given the best numbers. And given lockdown not there and with existing models and with alternate countermeasures what we are looking at in semiconductor and the new products, what it is today, Raider and Jupiter 125. I'm extremely positive about TVS Motor doing much, much better this year, both in top line and in bottom line.
Thank you, sir. Desikan, sir, can you please share the exports and spares number for Q4?
Q4, what is the number you asked?
I didn't get the question, please.
Exports and spares, sir.
Just a minute. Exports revenue you are saying for Q4?
Yes, sir.
For revenue 1,899 crores. 1,899 crores.
And the USD INR realization?
76.
Wonderful. Spares number, sir, if you have it handy.
Let me look at it.
Yeah, it's there. One second.
And sir, like the supply issues which you indicated even in month of April, how much could have been the production higher if not for the supply issues? That's my last question.
Again, I don't want to give a number. Raider was practically, we couldn't produce any Raider. I can say that. Whatever was there in the pipeline, we were able to sell. And Apache also significantly got affected. Sometimes one-off this could happen in a month. Okay, but that was very shocking. But despite that, I think our numbers are very good. So that also shows the pull in the market for the existing models. So we have to manage between the existing models and the new models. Sometimes one-off brands have got a challenge. We will find alternate solutions for that.
Got it, sir. And the spares number?
Spares number, I don't have it straight away. I'll come back to you.
No problem, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Gunjan from Bank of America. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks everyone for taking my question. Just two from my side. Firstly, on this Norton, I remember this release which you had put out of about 1,000 crore investment. What is the time horizon we are looking at, and how much has already been invested? And in the same, around investments, when I look at this year, you all have invested about 1,400 odd crores in the acquisitions or subsidiaries, associates. When you look at F23, what are the pending payments for acquisitions, or how should I look at this investment number for next year?
See, about on the investment announced about 100 million pounds, 40 to 50 million are already been made, leading to the creation of a world-class facility and imminent launch of some of the new products, re-engineered products, what we are planning to do this year. Okay, and also this will be spread over 5 years, and these investments will be towards electrification, cutting-edge technology, and world-class vehicles, manufacturing, sustainability, and future of mobility. These are the areas we are looking at. And I can promise you, you will see exciting range of products for the global market from Norton. This is on the first question. On the second question, I already highlighted to you, majority of the investments, whatever we have done, are giving us very good returns. Whether it is TVS ES, whether it is PT TVS, whether it is SSCL, and two of the e-mobility companies where we have acquired recently, both are profitable. So I think we are pretty confident that we are investing in the right segment and the right business, and we are very confident about delivering good returns from these new investments going forward.
Okay, no, sir, I was just trying to get a number. If there is a ballpark number in your mind that this is how we look at F23 capex plus investments. When I do appreciate some of these are very strategic in nature, but generally trying to make sense of the amount of spend which will be made in F23.
CapEx next year will be about 700 crores, including our future mobility area.
And investments, any guidance?
Investments, I don't want to give any guidance at this point of time. It is, as you said, it is all very strategic. Based on the future plans of the company, we will look at where to invest and the plans.
Okay. And just quickly from my side on the financing penetration this quarter, and if you are able to quantify the price hikes taken in Jan or in April, that will help us.
Financing penetration, Jessica.
Just a second, please.
I think financing penetration this quarter is almost
close to
50.
Overall penetration for 21-22 this quarter is around 58%.
58%. It has gone up substantially. That is a confidence which is seen in the market. Definitely, you are able to see.
Okay. Price hike, sir, and then I'll join back the queue.
Price hike. We have taken during this quarter. I think it was around 1.5%.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Jinesh Gandhi from Motilal Oswal Financial Service. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. A couple of questions from my side. One is with respect to the RM cost impact which we talked about. So, was there any material RM cost inflation seen in fourth quarter, or it was broadly stable?
No, there is RM cost increase in this year Q1 as well, and Q4 also we saw.
Okay. But any indication of what was the inflation seen in fourth quarter and expected in 1Q?
1Q not yet settled because there is always a lag and there will be some negotiations which is going on.
Sure.
Okay. Because last quarter increase itself is something huge. You have seen 1.5% price increase, and maybe uncovered is about another 1%. So that will be there given the last 6 quarters of material cost increases, whatever we have seen, because you can't immediately pass on all brands and every market. So we have to look at a combination of product mix, geography mix, and also leverage the revenue growth. So, and of course, thanks to the sustained cost reduction, whatever we have done. So that is the best way. But what is most important is if you look at year on year, we have managed our material costs very well, given all the headwinds what we had last year. Okay, possibly little bit of better semiconductor availability in the last quarter, and container availability in international market in quarter 2 and quarter 3. I think that would have helped a little bit more on the revenue side. So, but right. These things happen. However, if you look at overall as a company, highest revenue and highest PBT, and we are able to Q2, Q3, Q4, we are able to hit a double-digit EBITDA margin under very difficult situation.
Sure. No, that's a very commendable performance in tough times. No two ways about that. So second question pertains to when I look at the consolidated performance, the auto component business seems to be having substantial pressure, continuing to have PBIT losses. So what is happening in that business? What are we doing to turn around that business?
I already highlighted that. See, when we started TVS CS, it was also having a lot of challenges, but it is today one of the best performers. This year, the PBT itself is 156 crores, which is outstanding, and the book size is almost 40,000 crores. I think we always invest in the right area. Same way PT TVS. You look at PT TVS performance and you look at FCL performance. So And 2 of the investments, whatever we made, are already profitable last year. So significant proportion of all the investments are profitable, and there are new investments we have made last year. I'm pretty confident that they are strategic in nature and they are going to give huge returns going forward.
Sure. No, so are the losses in Autocom business reflection of difficulty to pass through cost inflation to end customers? Is that the main reason, or there's something else there?
I think markets have been very slow. All of us know that the markets have been very, very slow. I think the biggest challenge is this 8 quarters of lockdowns and country by country. Now look at China now. China is on maximum lockdown and many things are getting affected, including containers. So I think uncertainty and unpredictability definitely is one of the reasons where this last 8 quarters. But last 8 quarters, I think this also tested the robustness of the company, and I can be very humble and very polite in saying that we have done extremely well.
Sure. And sir, can you share what percentage of auto component business revenues would be to third party?
Oh, you are talking about SACL?
Right.
SACL, Desikan, you have how much is outside? 60% is for TVS or 40% is for TVS?
Yeah, it's only as far as Sundaram Auto Components is concerned, their dependency on TVS Motor is around 40%, slightly lower than 40%. The rest are only to outsiders.
Okay, got it. Thanks, sir. I'll fall back in queue.
Thank you. Next question is from line of Arvind Sharma from Citi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, good evening, sir, and thanks for taking the question. Sir, first question more on the quarter side. The realizations were literally flat quarter on quarter, and you say you take a 1.5% increase. So how do we kind of tie up this thing?
I think primarily we lost some volumes in the premium segment due to semiconductor availability, especially in February and March. But I'm pretty confident that the kind of countermeasures we have taken, that will become better in this quarter. Of course, April also we had some setbacks, but I'm pretty confident that May and June you will see the recovery there.
Correct, sir. Sir, second question, we are already almost more than a month into the first quarter. How much do you think that the commodity costs have been deferred to or will be lumping up in the first quarter? Is there any sense on that part?
The commodity, in my opinion, has reached its peak. And even in Q1, we have not settled on the commodity cost increases because the requests have been very high. So still negotiations are going on. And we have increased prices even in this Q1. So I'm pretty confident that there will be a balance you will see going forward. I think once you see the availability of many ingredients for the raw material becoming smoother, you will see a stable situation. Equally, this geopolitical situation easing out also will help going forward on the commodity prices. So I'm expecting maybe Q1, Q2 onwards, you should see some settling down.
All right, sir. So just one final question is more on the customer side. When you're selling your iQube, how much do you think is the commonality between the potential buyer of an iQube and say something like a Jupiter and Ntorq? Is there any commonality in the target customer base?
See, since we have not given mass numbers, the numbers today we are averaging around 2,500 per month sales. And 2,500 in these 33 cities, we are seeing techies buying this in the urban area. To answer you, once we start selling 10,000, 15,000 per month for about 6 months, I think we will be able to see how the total EV scooter to IC scooter, how it is happening. But my hypothesis there is scooter as a category today is 32% of the industry in IC. I am very sure this will expand because more and more consumers will look at EV scooter, more and more consumers will look at scooter as a form. So I feel that both IC you will see change, EV will continue to grow. I am giving my kind of prognosis at this point of time. But currently, if I look at the type of customers, they are all techie customers who wants, the normal Jupiter type of customers we are just seeing now. You have to supply sufficiently into this market, then you can see what is the overlay of this type of customer.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Amin Pirani from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. Just wanted to go back, apologies for this, on the, point raised by Pramod as well as Gunjan. Now, we understand, that when you make an investment, you obviously have a 3 to 5 year view. Markets may not be as patient. So what would help us, and maybe, hopefully we'll hear more on this, is that maybe on Norton and maybe on the other businesses, if you could come out and share some, of your 3 to 5 year plan in terms of, maybe capacity, which geographies, that will give us some comfort, that, okay, investments are high, but that is fine. Like, financial services has done and how Indonesia has turned around, these businesses, will give us, good returns in the future. That was just, some, a point that I wanted to make. And hopefully, like you mentioned, if Norton does start production this year, hopefully we'll hear some of your plans during the year.
I can promise you the time what we took for TVS CS and PT TVS will be much more faster and agile.
Okay, that's good to hear, sir. Secondly, sir, on the EV side, as you move from around 2,000 per month to say 10 to 15,000 a month on the two-wheeler side, do you think that the current format of distribution, which is how you sell it in the current existing TVS showrooms, would work, or do you think you'll have to create a slightly different format, maybe a shop-in-shop or a separate distribution? Because the category, while it's a scooter, it still has different nuances. Would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. See, TVS iQube, the company, we have also leveraged digital channels for vehicles booking and sales, and completely digitally enabled purchase processes, test rides, booking, payments, seamless home charging, unit installations, providing truly hassle-free experience. I think it is going to happen. In my view, this could happen not only in India, many parts of the world, number one. Number two, this could also change some of the IC distribution models as well. So today I cannot give an inference that this is the model. So we are experimenting both the models. For example, iQube is available through some of our existing dealers. It is also available to the digital channel, but I cannot give you in conclusion what is the proportion through the digital channels and how is going through that. I think some more numbers, maybe another 6 months when we start selling 10,000 per month or 15,000, 20,000 per month, I'll be able to give with much more confidence how it is panning out. But I am very sure the new ways of doing business will happen.
Great, sir. Thanks for this. I'll come back in the queue.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hitesh Goel from CLSA India. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the question. First question on the iQube, right? Your current bookings are around 12,000, but you are expecting to ramp production to 10,000 per month. Do you have the chip supply to really get to these numbers anywhere in the second half of this year?
Not even second half. We are looking at in the first quarter itself, how do we come to 10,000, and in second quarter go much beyond that. I'm pretty confident. The most difficult thing, we have got it right, which is the acceptance by the customers. And as I told you, we have a range of new product launches also planned. So we are planning to really launch, go beyond 10,000 in the second quarter and beyond whatever number. So we want to really have a great year on EV ramp up and EV sales this year.
Sorry, sir, just to clarify, this is 10,000 per month capacity or 10,000 per quarter?
10,000 per month. Now
Per month.
we are looking at.
And
Not yeah. So I want to hit 10,000 definitely by June.
So, sir, why is the bookings only at 12,000? Just wanted to get a sense. Booking should have been
We
much.
always, we don't want to have customer dissatisfaction beyond a point. When somebody books it, if I open my booking, there are enough people who love this product. We have restricted this 33 cities also. Once 1 month we reach 10,000, then we will ramp it much faster. Okay.
And you were planning to get to all over India, right? Which will happen by end of this quarter?
All over India, 100% all over India, and we will also start some international markets. Okay.
And sir, on the export side, my second question is on export side. Can you give us some color on what is happening on the export side? Because all the oil prices have gone up, right? But there's inflation also, which is on the food prices, which could affect consumption, right? So can you give us some sense on how you see demand, especially in Africa, on the export side? What is happening there? Can you give us some color?
Exports, we see very good growth. And what is helping us is our product range and the kind of customer satisfaction we have on the HLX series or on Apache or even Raider, whatever we have launched, or Ntorq, or the new Jupiter 125, also small numbers we have started giving. So, and the three-wheeler side. I think Africa market is doing extremely well for us. And I agree, the challenges on inflation is across the globe this year. And the positive thing is the political stability, availability and stability of currency, they are all helping. And crude oil prices are somewhere on the higher side this year.
Sorry, sir, just to rephrase, so is TVS gaining market share in Africa and Latin America, or the market is also expanding?
Both. Markets are expanding, and we are gaining significant market share gains in every market where we operate.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Kapil Singh from Nomura. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. Just wanted to check in terms of strategic acquisitions or investment, how do you think about it? What is the play that TVS wants to have in the mobility space? And how are you planning for management bandwidth for some of these new segments that we are entering into?
Participants, please stay connected. Line for the man dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay connected while we rejoin the management back to the call. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We have the line for the management reconnected. So you may go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, the line got disconnected. I think somebody wanted to ask some question.
Kapil, may I request you to repeat your question once again for the management, please?
Yeah, sure. So just wanted to understand your thoughts on the strategic initiative in the mobility space and global motorbiking space as well. What are the ambitions? How do you think about acquisitions? And will there be more such strategic investments that you intend to do going ahead? Also, how are you planning for management bandwidth to look at some of these new areas and new geographies?
The EV and future mobility, this is something definitely going to happen. And we have embraced the change, and that is why we have invested in TVS Motor, as well as we are also looking at such strategic investments. So these strategic investments are based on looking at the global market and opportunity, because we feel that there is a great opportunity for TVS to leverage anything related to future of mobility. So we have a very strong plan, and we look at constantly on this area. And on teams, we have for example, we have a separate team on Norton, we have a separate team on FEMG, and here we have a separate EV team, more than almost 800 engineers, managers, and especially in certain areas like software and electronics, we are strengthening with the lateral hire. So we always believe in putting a very strong team and investing in R&D and facilities, because most important is the belief that what I told earlier, Pramod, Atmanirbhar Bharat means it is also designing and developing and partnering with many suppliers and global partners who are best in class. So we always do that. Those partnerships are helping us, plus the kind of resources what we have invested in, and we always do that.
Sure, sir. So does this, mobility is a very broad term. Does this include four-wheelers also, if there are opportunities, or will you be restricted to two-wheelers? Some thoughts around that.
Now it is two-wheelers and three-wheelers.
Okay. Secondly, I just wanted to ask on PLI, how will the accounting work? Would you be booking on accrual basis or when we receive the cash flows? Desikan sir, if you can help us.
PLI, Desikan.
No, the question, not clear on question, please. So what was the question, Kanan? I couldn't hear him clearly.
The PLI incentive, will you be booking on an accrual basis, or you will be booking because the cash flow as per the government notification will take place, they will pay after 1 year, right? For FY23, they will pay in FY24. So I just want to understand how will the accounting work? Will it come in your P&L in FY23 only, or you will book when you receive the cash flow next year?
We will be conservative in our approach, and we will account it based on cash flow basis only.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Pramod from InCred Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. This is with regard to again the EV opportunity in India. Considering your moped presence and also the number of acquisitions you are doing internationally, how do you see a low-speed two-wheeler opportunity in India? What's the market size as per you and what it can grow? And do you see a role for TVS to play in the low-speed two-wheeler?
Customer segments will evolve. Definitely segments will evolve. When we started moped, we found that there are a set of customers in the bottom of the pyramid. They wanted to carry load and they want to earn income. So today, a moped is carrying something like 100 to 150 kgs of either agricultural produce or milk or whatever, and it is used for earning everyday income. Okay, so I think we have to closely look at what is this type of application and what is the type of customer segment, and then decide. I can't give a generic answer at this point of time. We are studying very deeply customer segment by customer segment, and I can promise you every customer segment in the EV space, we will have a product.
Sir, any estimate based on your studies, what is the market size there? Because as they are not registered.
Too early.
Sure. Thanks in all those.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, that will be the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you for the conference, and stay safe. And we are all hoping that even if some wave of COVID comes, it will be like wave 3 and it will not lock down the country and all of us. And we will see that the economy will do well in India, and we want the rural with a very good monsoon should do well. So this year, so overall, with the kind of new product, whatever we have launched, Raider and Jupiter 125, and the portfolio of products what we have starting from Apache, Jupiter, Ntorq, Star Range, HLX, Radeon, and TVS King, and now iQube, TVS iQube. I'm pretty confident that we will grow ahead of the industry, both in domestic and international. And our sustained cost reduction initiative, products mix, geography mix, this strategy will definitely help us to go beyond now the double-digit margin, whatever we have clocked quarter after quarter in the last 3 quarters. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Batliwala & Karani Securities India Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.